Okay.
Hi, I'm here with Rabbi Morgenstern. Shalom Aleichem, Rabbi. Nice to be with you. How are you this morning?
Shalom Aleichem, Doran. Thank you very much for the interview.
Pleasure. So for those who don't know, my name is
Fine.
Bluth. I'm
Baruch Hashem.
the editor here at Mosaica Press, and this is Rabbi Chaim Morgenstern, the author of Raising Children, the Do's and Don'ts. It's a gorgeous cover. It's a very popular book. And Rabbi Morgenstern, you've been in Chinuch for 30 years? 40 years?
Yeah,
How long have you been?
about 30 plus years.
30 plus years. So tell me, do you notice any major differences between the kids today than a generation or two ago?
100%. The kids today are brought up in a whole different world. I mentioned there's an affluent generation. There are many things available to them. And basically, parents also, some of them are so busy either on the social media or working to make a living, they don't have that much time to invest in the children, and they give the children more or less whatever they want. The children become a little bit spoiled, and what happens is that there are problems afterwards with discipline, problems with training, kibbut ava aim, other things. That's what I found. I mentioned this in my book.
Have you noticed anything in Corona times when families are more stuck together these last few months and schools are not fully operating and camps are not fully operating? What's been happening on the ground with all of your students?
I really don't know because I'm myself quarantined. I'm basically in my home. So my grandchildren, they bring me groceries and I see my grandchildren from the distance, and I don't really know what's going on outside with the kids. But from what I hear, is that from the different reports that I get, is that it is difficult for the parents now because the children are home now, and they have to find ways of occupying them. So what happens is they're giving them these laptops or the notebooks or whatever they have, and they start going online for different things, and it's actually spoiling them. In my book, I have a section about this, is that in the high-tech generation, our children become addicted to these electronic devices, and as a result, they become very, unsociable people. It's all with the computers, and that could be what's going to happen now, unless the kids start getting back to school and interacting and getting off these devices.
Very good. Do you have any advice for, it's been a phenomenon for years, decades, I guess, but now I've heard there's just a lot of teenagers having a tough time in Corona. Some kids are go for it, and they're using their time and they're learning and they have chavrusas and they're taking shiurim, and others, maybe the ones that were having a harder time before, they're just bored to death. Nothing is going on, and like the risks of them losing their tam for Yiddishkeit are much greater. Any advice for parents of teens, especially?
Well, basically, the parents have to be more on top of it and see how they can occupy their children in different ways. You have to find mentors probably to learn with their children, and to people who can connect with them at their intellectual level and their individual level. And by that, they will be able to, keep them busy, keep their minds off and getting into trouble. That's probably the best way to do it. I know from my grandchildren, they told me, how do I stay in the house so long, without going crazy? So I told them, Baruch Hashem, I'm busy, but the younger generation can't do it. They have different energies, they have different aspirations, and they get anxiety and anxious to do things. It's hard for them to stay by themselves. So we have to find ways of occupying them in a kosher way. And that's actually the parents' responsibility, how to find it. If they can't find it themselves, they must seek ways from other people. And the problem is today, which I mentioned in my book, is that people used to using instant solutions, looking in books, really listening to shiurim, and that's it. But that's not the solution. You have to know what each person's individual situation is, and from that situation, to speak to somebody, ask them how they can help them get their child, off this boredom path, if we call it that way, and get them back into doing something more productive in their lives.
Okay, thank you very much for these words of wisdom, Rabbi Morgenstern. The book is Raising Children, Do's and Don'ts. And this is Rabbi Chaim Morgenstern. Thank you very much. Maybe in a couple months we'll be able to speak again.
No problem. As the Shem.
Okay. Stay safe and healthy, Rabbi. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, we hope we have another book out by then on marriage.
Oh, we're looking forward.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day.
Okay. Bye.